I think there's something wrong with my thing. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are on the globe. We welcome you again to another edition of the Literary Hour on Focus on Liberia. Today is Friday, September 17th. And as always, we have Professor Ken Moses Nangwe as our co-host. Hi, Prof.
Hey, Jackie, thank you for welcoming all of us. And it's another Friday. Time for more chat.
Yes. So have you guys shared the show, Prof? Did you
No.
share the show? You were
You,
asking.
you didn't you didn't give it to me. So
Dennis was supposed to give it to you to share.
mm, anyway.
Um, I think that he will give it to you, and then you can share the show. So we are again here for another exciting discussion. Um, the discussion today, I think it just came, Prof. You can share it now. The discussion today will be on the national songs, the Lone Star Forever and the national anthem. Uh, we were slated to have Patrice Joa. Patrice is traveling, so she's unable to join us, and she will join us soon. But we always say buy the book. So if it's Patrice's book, Under Duker Skies, please buy the book. You will not be able to follow the discussion appropriately if you don't buy the book. So please buy the book. Today, like I said, we're going to discuss these two national songs. So I hope you have it right next to you or you know it by heart. So when we start to discuss it, you're able to join in the discussion and let us know how you feel about the national anthem and how you feel about the Lone Star Forever. So we're going to start with the national anthem because that was done first before the Lone Star Forever by Daniel Warner, Daniel Bashel, right, bro? Bashel Warner, who was the son of a slave. His father was released just 1 year prior to coming to Liberia. And Daniel Warner was born in Maryland in the United States. He came to Liberia as a young child, I think even almost a toddler, and he was educated in Liberia. So Daniel B. Warner, the third president of Liberia, wrote the national anthem, and then Olmsted Luca put it to song. And that's, Prof. You see, that's why the people say the person who's second, they never get glory. It's always
Yeah.
the person who's first. Because Olmsted Luca, nobody talks about Olmsted Luca.
Mm,
Everybody
ex-
talks about Daniel B. Warner.
except those who are in academia and all that, but
Yes.
generally, who talks about
Who talks about
Luca?
Olmsted Luca? Nobody knows him. Nobody mentions him. Nobody says,
Well,
oh, he
don't
did
say
this.
that because I know I did a children's reader and I call it Face to Face with our national songs. And
Okay.
Luca is prominently stated there.
Prominent
Anyway,
feature. Okay. And he was also from the United States. He was a mixed race.
mhm,
And in fact, when we did some research, we found that his entire family was musical.
mhm.
They had some. If you really delve deeper in doing research, you will find that his family was a very musical family. So he put the songs to music. All hail Liberia, hail. So we'll start with that one first. Prof, do you have anything to share as a precursor to discussing this?
Yeah, well, what I like to say is that we are still on this very wonderful journey. Uh, we have been talking about other historical aspects of the country, and we always say that history and literature, they are twin brother and sister, whatever you want to call it. And so let audience brace themselves as we go through these two important songs of the nation.
Yeah. So we start with all hail Liberia, hail.
there's
Prof?
there's the line enjoy, enjoy. The thing about they have all these little silly things, and then people will say, well, they say we should enjoy. The phrase is enjoy,
And
in by
gladness.
itself, and joy.
Enjoy. Yes.
In joy and gladness with our hearts united. You
We
see, that's what it
shall
is.
be the okay. So let's come to first before we discuss it. We have to frame it
Yeah.
right,
Hmm.
and we say that a national anthem is almost a national prayer, a national exhortation, a national narrative. Whereas the flag is symbolic, the song is a narrative of where we've been, where
Hmm.
we are, and where we are going. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So with the All Hail Liberia Hail, they say that first a call to the people to awake, right?
Hmm.
Okay, so awake, arise or stand up, and then an exhortation to God. Some of them do have exhortations to God. God blessing, bless the nation, and then they move from there. And then they talk about a beloved land or whatever. So, probably let's talk about this or hail Liberia, hail, and it's done twice.
Hmm.
All hail Liberia, hail. So that exhortation is saying what?
Well, the thing about it is you can see it basically as an exhortation or what have you, but there is a royal evocation. It's
I like
stirring
that.
up, and then also a kind of as you said earlier, exaltation from where we had been and where we are bound to go. Keep in mind that these people were seen by their masters as good for nothing.
Yeah.
These people were seen as good for nothing. And so this good for nothing bunch of people eventually got independent. Huh? They wrote their Declaration of Independence and all that kind of set up their constitution and what have you. And so they have come forth and are telling the world, hey, here we are. They said we were going to be good for nothing, but it is a different thing. And see how they start the first stanza. This glorious land of liberty shall long be ours. And then there's the
That's good now.
though her name green be her fame and mighty be her past. And then they repeat that. So you can see that they said, well, we may be new, huh? We may be new, and uh, and therefore our name is not new anywhere. It's green. Our the fame, whatever fame we have, well, we are not boasting of that, but at least we are boasting of the fact that we have a glorious land that we will what we will never so easily part with. So that's what you find
Yes.
in the first stanza.
Yeah. This glorious land is not
And
just a land of liberty,
yes,
but it's glorious.
glorious.
And it's almost thumping your nose. Shall long be ours.
Yes, yes,
It's like
yes.
thumping
Something
your
their
nose
nose.
at them.
Yes, yes. This
It's
glorious land
ours.
of liberty shall long. There's
Be
this
ours. Yeah.
definitive what? This definitive uh, point that they are making. Shall long be ours.
And then you come to the timeline. Don't knew her name.
Yeah.
So the timeline is there. Daniel Warner.
Mhm.
It's important to note that he didn't write this song as a national anthem. It was written before.
Yeah.
It was adopted
Yeah. Of
as the
course.
national anthem.
In most instances, that's what happens in nations. Because
Yeah, yeah,
even the American Star Spangled Banner. This guy was excited when he saw their flag up, and he wanted to
yeah,
bend it down, and eventually it became what? It became the national anthem.
yeah.
So sometimes
So
you
so
find,
don't you her name? That's a timeline.
yes,
Green be her fame. So
yes,
green, which means she's new. She's
yes,
still new.
yeah, fresh.
She's not ripe. It's
Mm-hmm,
green, right?
mm-hmm,
Shall green and mighty be her powers. So look at the juxtaposition. She's new,
yes,
but she's mighty.
yes,
So sometimes it takes time
uh-huh,
to gain power.
uh-huh,
But Daniel Warner is saying, don't you her name green be her fame, mighty be her
uh,
powers.
yes, yes.
So he's
This
like,
this this gets to be aspirational.
yes,
Yes, yes,
aspirational.
yes,
Yeah, she's
yes,
mighty. Yeah.
yes.
and not only
don't
that,
mind all that, oh, don't mind all that, but we will, that sort of a
and
thing.
not all that, he repeats it again.
Yes.
So he exhorts you, or he
Mhm.
calls you to exhort Liberia,
Mhm.
or
Yes.
heal
Yes.
Liberia, heal.
Yes.
And then he reminds you
Yeah.
again,
Yes.
though knew her name,
Him.
bring me her fame,
Of him.
and
Yeah.
mighty
Mighty.
in her powers.
Yes.
Okay, so Daniel Warner,
Yeah.
that's strike. I mean, that's good. Okay, so then enjoy, enjoy.
Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. So they are not saying enjoy. They are saying
Enjoy.
yeah, within the midst of joy, within the midst of gladness. That's what is it.
Yes, yes.
Enjoy and gladness with our hearts united. In fact, there is a pause there, though. Okay, when it gets to that point, there's a pause. That comes uh, green, and then you have the refrain, and then comes at the end of it. Enjoy and gladness
Yes,
with our hearts united. We shout the freedom of our race benighted.
yes,
Again, it's like rubbing it in the face of anybody
yes,
who cares
yes.
to disparage the people.
So in joy, in
Yeah,
gladness, right?
yeah,
So they have so when they are hailing Liberia,
yes,
whether in joy and gladness, right? Our hearts are united. We will shout the freedom of a race benighted.
yes,
So we're telling you that although you thought we were downtrodden,
yes,
right? We are still mighty, because he said this
yes,
race has been benighted,
yes,
right? Yeah, and with all these big names,
yes, mhm,
benighted, downtrodden,
yes. That's right.
you know.
We're there.
Yes.
It's there is one movie they had, and this guy who had been disparaged a whole lot eventually became a man. He went to the Navy Academy, came out, and what have you. And when he went back to the home that used to disparage him, he stood at the entrance and said, "I'm still standing."
Um,
I'm still standing.
yes,
So it's more of Liberia, the founder saying, "Hey, look, you may have
I'm still
disparaged us.
standing.
You may have thought that nothing will come of us. We are still standing,
Standing.
even though
Yeah.
we are what, a race benighted."
Yes. So after the race be united, he said, "Long live Liberia,
Yeah.
happy land,
Yes.
yeah, a
This
home
home
of glorious
is
liberty by
liberty.
God's command." Again,
Yes.
this call, it's been blessed by
Yeah.
God.
Hmm.
It's by God's command. So
Yes.
God commands it.
Yeah.
Yeah, a home
Yeah.
of glorious liberty, and He repeats that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the
So
thing about it is that if you look at Liberian history, even though there are certain things that people talk about and what have you, the idea is that, hey, God is in control. We may not be anything and what have you. We may not be anything at all, but God is in control and what have you. Please switch a little,
okay,
switch a little,
and,
and
and and then with God in control, He continues that in the second stanza. In union strong,
yes,
success is sure.
yes,
We cannot fail.
yeah.
So all of you I'm going to be a little political, all of you who are fighting, in union strong, success is sure.
I'm coming up.
We cannot fail. And then he comes back with God above our rights to prove we will overall prevail.
I'm on the
So,
program.
so it's almost like
Hello.
he knows the place that Liberia has in history. He knows how people look down on Liberia. He knows that now we've declared our independence, because this is a song that was adapted around 1847. So with God above, so he comes back. Not only is God going to give us this glorious liberty and this glorious land of
Yeah.
liberty, but with God above our rights to prove, we will prevail.
Yes. Yes.
So so
God.
so so we will not. So if we are strong, success will be sure.
Yeah.
But if God is above our rights to prove, we will overall prevail,
Yeah.
right? And then
Yeah.
he goes on to repeat that. So he repeats that. And then, of course, with hearts and hands, our country cost defending,
Mm.
we'll meet the foe with valor of pretending.
Yes.
Now, he says valor of pretending. which is genuine valor, not pretending, no pretensions here, pretentious here. You know, you have to defend your country.
Yeah.
Right? Long live Liberia, happy land. Yeah. Okay.
Because of course, if you don't defend it, who is going to defend it, Jackie? Nobody, Miss. Yeah, nobody is going to defend it.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry to say that the national anthem is beautiful, you know, but for me, the richness, right? The depth, the lyrical core is missing. To me, it's just a simple song. And it's nice. It's what you said. You said that, oh, it could be that it doesn't need it doesn't need to be a big song. It doesn't need to, it's like a rallying call. But for the pure richness, the Lone Star Forever beats it anytime.
You see,
Anytime it
the
beats it.
the anthem is hortatory. It's arousing us, and nothing else for now or at the time did the person have to do. First it makes the point that uh, it's come of age. It was of a group that people thought nothing would have come out of, and they were able to just the thing that brings in the is it Thompson, the
Oh,
liberator?
yeah, Melvin Thompson,
Okay, very good.
Tolson.
Yes. So you see, this is a group that's like a sparrow has what has kind of dodged the evil claws of what of the eagle, and it has come up and to be what it is. And so when we see this song, yet in its simplicity, it is majestic. In its simplicity, it is majestic. It starts with the royal hailing is not ordinary hailing over there, really. The royal
Yeah,
hailing.
we'll shout. He says
Yeah.
we'll shout.
Yes.
It's not like we're just gonna whisper or
Yeah.
say it. We're gonna
Yes. You
shout.
shout.
Yeah.
It's
We'll
like
shout.
saying, "Who in Lekki, let that person go drink salt water." That sort of a thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Daniel Warner, or Hill, Liberia Hill, he talks of this race, that has been downtrodden,
Yes.
but yet we have this glorious land of liberty,
Yes.
and it will be ours
It will
if we
never
are
leave from our
united.
hand.
Yeah, yeah. If we look at it, it's like or Hill, Liberia Hill is almost like what is it called? It's almost like arise, oh compatriots,
Yes.
Nigeria,
Yes.
come to
Mhm.
obey,
Mhm.
so
Mhm.
it's that, right? And then
Yeah.
stand and sing of Zambia,
Yeah.
so all of those, so
Yeah.
or Hill, Liberia Hill is in that tradition.
Yeah.
They're calling you. And then
Mhm.
Botswana says, awake, awake, oh men, awake, right?
Mhm.
So all Hill, Liberia Hill is in that tradition.
Mhm.
But let's come to the second one before we can really go in depth. My favorite.
What is it?
My favorite, the Lone Star Forever, which I think should be the national anthem.
Well, okay.
So this
You
this
change a lot of
this
things
is
around in this
written.
place here.
I mean, but Prof, if you just look at it, look at the richness, the depth of not the depth, the choice of words, and to learn that a 19-year-old, right? A 19-year-old boy, I would say, not man, boy, wrote this, and he didn't have no looker to put it in music. It was put in music by Edwin J. Barclay. It was written by him and put in music by him. You know. So
And
okay. Let's sing the first stanza.
okay.
You and I, so we
Hmm.
can wake the people up. When
When freedom raised
freedom
the glowing form
is on,
on
so
Cerrado by the night,
you guys join us. We can hear you, but
he said
with
within the dome
the
of night,
night, mist
mist lowering skies of thunderstorm. The star of liberty, and seizing from the waking morn,
Moon,
its
its
burning shield of golden
burning
flame,
flame,
she lifted it up in her proud old name,
and
and
rouse
roused
a
her
people
people long forlorn to a nobler destiny. The Lone Star forever,
forever,
the Lone Star
and
forever.
forever. Oh,
Oh,
long may
long
it
may it
flow
float over land and
over
over
land and
sea.
over sea,
Deserted,
deserted,
no,
no,
never.
uphold
Upholding
it
forever.
forever. Oh,
Oh,
shout
shout
for
for
the
the
Lone
Lone
Star.
Star banner.
Oh,
All hail.
okay. Now we can really discuss
Yeah,
it. When we did the national anthem,
yeah,
right? They talk about freedom, the glorious land of liberty,
yeah.
right?
Mhm,
And 54 years later, a 19-year-old immigrant from Barbados,
mhm.
right, comes and he writes the Lone Star forever. And Prof, before we discuss it, let me tell you, there is no doubt that had we had this, it would have been it.
It would have been what?
It would have been the national anthem.
Okay, all right. But do you know also, of course, you know that he did the University Ode, Lux Internabris o Amemeta.
Do they still sing it?
Oh yes. In fact,
Okay.
they the chorus, they call it the University Chorus. Yeah, it's replete with a lot of alumni. They and I think every time they have an occasion, I think this is the first song they sing. I'm talking about Lux Tenebris, or they sing it as the last song before they leave.
Okay. So
But
so
anyway,
so
back to Lone Star Forever.
yeah, so back to the Lone Star forever. So we're talking about liberty, right?
Yeah.
Liberty is now personified.
Hmm.
Liberty was the one who raised her glowing
Hmm.
form,
Yeah, yeah,
right? So liberty is personified when freedom, I mean, not freedom, not liberty, freedom, when freedom raised her
yeah,
glowing form
yeah,
on Montserrat Virgin Height. And you and
yeah,
I were discussing this,
yeah.
not just on height, on Virgin Height.
Fresh, everything. Yes, luscious
Lush,
and all that.
green, luxurious,
Yes.
which is testament to the fact that the Green Coast,
Hmm.
right? It's a very fertile place.
Yeah.
Not drought, it's not drought stricken.
Yes.
Certain height, right?
Mhm.
So 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 she sat within the dome of night,
Yes.
right? Now, midst lowering skies and thunderstorm. So
Mhm.
the question then is,
Yeah. I
the
don't know.
question then is, why the dome of night?
Well, the whole picture that is painted over there is
Yes,
the climatic condition, the weather and everything, the fog and everything. The what in fact would have gotten in the way of independence. All those things are a kind of described in those few lines.
not just climatic conditions.
Mhm.
This dome of night with lowering skies and thunderstorms are the things that were impeding Liberia's freedom.
Yes,
Or
in
not
fact,
freedom, because this was 54 years later. But the things that were impeding Liberia's progress, right, into the community of nations, as I call it. So it wasn't that there were impediments to the independence, because the independence had happened. I think Barclay wrote this
well,
song
well, the whole
1909.
you see, it's like capturing the first several years of the country, capturing
Yes,
the
that's what he's
first
saying.
several
Yeah.
years of the country. So he
Yes.
goes back to the very beginning of founding the nation, and then comes to this point as we are talking about, which is the she what is the uh, mist lowering skies of thunderstorm. Okay.
Yeah, and
Uh,
thunderstorm. So that's the darkening shadows that were impeding
yes,
Liberia's
exactly.
progress.
And
Yes.
it was still able to penetrate. That's what we get
Yeah.
from it.
And you see, when they say, and ceasing from the waking morn,
Hmm.
is burnished sheet of golden flame. So what? So this is such rich language for a 19-year-old, because what he's saying is that this type of liberty, it wasn't just taken, it was seized.
Yeah.
And it was seized from the waking morn, because when daylight is coming, when the sun is coming up,
Yeah.
right? When it's
It's
coming
very
up,
bright.
it's
Hmm.
like a golden flame.
Yeah.
So freedom ceased from this waking moon, is
Yeah.
burnished sheet of golden flame, and
Yeah.
she lifted it.
Yeah.
So now freedom is personified. It's a woman, right? She lifted
Yes.
it in her proud name. And then we come back to this same sentiment that is echoed in
National
the
anthem.
national anthem. Roused a nation long for long.
Forlorn.
It's same as the benighted race, a race
Yes.
benighted.
Okay.
That's the same thing.
Uh-huh.
A nation long for long, a race benighted. Race benighted. So the
Yeah.
people were downtrodden.
Yeah.
But this one is the nation.
Yeah.
So if we
Coming
look
into
at
its
this,
own. The nation coming into its own now by
yes.
virtue of the strife that it made over the years.
So if we look at this first stanza, you know, we always talk about exhortation and things. But what for me now is, this is my interpretation. What it's doing is almost saying we are at this place that is that we are at this place that majority of the people think, or the world think, we are not going to move. But freedom is saying no. You know, rouse a nation long for long to nobler destiny. So there's something there, prof.
The,
We are not meant to be in the mud. We are meant for nobler destiny.
exactly. And the thing about it is, it's along the line of how it should be interpreted, because the words are there. The words are, you have raised benighted, you have forlorn. All those are dark words, and those are the dark words that are true strife, true determination, and whatever, true fortitude. We've been able to break to go ahead to nobler heights. That's what it is over there.
Yeah. So okay. So now that they've shown us, Barclay has shown us, okay, this is what it was. Then freedom is not done. In the second stanza, then speeding in her
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
The course has not ended. The
Yes.
course is going to continue, speeding in her course along the broad Atlantic golden strand. So
Yeah.
she's running the gamut
Yeah.
of Liberia, right? And she
And
walked with reverend through the land.
yes, and
So,
through waking up and what have you, it's like she's become sassy. She's
yes,
become crazy with joy and everything, and wants to take the message all around.
yes,
It's like, declaring the independence, or declaring that, hey, we've arrived and we are moving on. You
we are
know,
moving on.
a nation's loud triumphant song. And what's the song? The song of what? The song of
Liberty.
liberty. Yes.
Yeah. So she walked with reverend through the land, and
Yes.
with reverend, she
Yes.
didn't just wake up. She went bouncing,
Yes.
shining through the
Yes.
land, with reverend through the
Yes.
land.
That's what it
and and
is.
and and the second stanza, it's really an uplifting stanza,
Yeah.
because if you look, the first one was what, nation long for long,
Yeah.
this is, but
Down and everything. Yeah.
the second, prof, she says, it says, and all Liberia auto fight, she raised the
Mhm.
Lone Star flag on course,
Yes.
right? And she proclaimed
To an
to an
expectant word.
expectant word. She didn't declare, she proclaimed
Proclaim. Yeah.
to an expectant word, the
Mhm.
birth of Africa's sons and sires, the
Mhm.
birth of liberty.
Yeah.
So here we are, right? She has run the gamut of the Atlantic golden strand.
Yeah. Hmm.
She has seized the waking morn. She has
Yeah.
seized the burnished flame
Yeah.
from the waking morn. And
Yeah.
she has now declared
Yeah.
to an expectant word,
Yeah. Hmm.
the birth of Africa's sons and sires, and the birth of
Yeah.
liberty. Yeah. So the birth of liberty is, if you look at it, 54 years, this song would have been the national anthem. The birth of liberty. Liberia is the birthplace of liberty for the black race.
Yes.
Now, the next answer is not, there is a progression
Yeah.
for a 19-year-old, I find this incredible. I mean, we are talking about, oh, there are so many poets and things, yes, but writing in those days and having the the foresight to say, okay, I'm going to say this is where we are, right? When freedom raised her glowing form, okay, when she was raising her glowing form, this is what was happening. But now I'm going to exhort you, and then I am going to put it in your hands. Then forward,
Yeah.
sons of freedom, march. Defend the sacred heritage, right? So, Prof, sorry, I keep talking because I love the long
Yes,
step.
I see the energy, so I just decided to piggyback on what I mean.
Okay, I will slow
And
down. You
no, oh,
you
no,
go
no.
ahead.
I mean, we are chatting, and therefore, that's what people have to take. When we are having this, we are chatting, and if like they always say, when the spirit moves you, you got to groove. That sort of a thing. But in here, the speaker has set the stage. The speaker,
Yes,
meaning the voice in the poem, has set the stage. Talk about what the lady of the hour had to go through to get to this point, and here we are. Uh, in the last stanza now, what we see is more of. There's something about. I think it must have been Benjamin Franklin or one of those uh, founding fathers of the nation who said, "What have you got?" He said, "It's a republic. It will remain a republic if you can keep it, right?"
if you can keep it,
Here,
yes.
here in this stanza is more of, yes, see all that has happened to us. See all that we went through. See all the naysayers we kind of threw on the wayside. Now we've come to this point. We've come into our own. But remember that there has to be almost an oath that we have to take to make sure that this nation that we've set up will continue to thrive. Then forward, sons of freedom, march, defend the sacred heritage. What does the nation do? The nations
Call
call
from
from
age to
age
age.
to age, where it sounds neath heaven's arc, wherever foes assail, be what?
Ever
Ready
ready.
to obey. Gainst treason and rebellion's front, gainst foul aggression in the brunt. See the language over there. Of battle lay the hero's way. All hail, Lone Star, all hail. So
So
you
it
want
echoes it echoes or Hill, Liberia Hill.
yes,
And this is paying homage to Liberia and to
yeah,
the flag and whatever. All hail Liberia. I mean Lone
yeah,
Star or Hill.
yeah.
Yeah, I like this song, Prof.
So
I think
so
that
so
this song
so
will be the
so you
national anthem.
so so you want us sing the last then
No, not no, no,
the,
no.
that's the
I
last
like the first one. Oh, we
oh,
did the first one, right?
yeah, we did the first one. Let's do the last one. We are
I'm
singing
gonna
all
give you
through.
time, but let's try. And you guys try too. Then forward, sons of freedom, march, defend
Defend the
the
sacred heritage.
stage. The
The
name
nations go from
of
age to age,
age,
where it sounds beneath heaven's
wherever
arc, where foes are
was a
still,
sail, be
be
ever
ever
ready
ready to
to
obey
obey King's
against
tree
treason and
and
rebellious
rebellious
front,
front,
against
against
foul
our
aggression in
aggression
the
and
brunt.
the burnt. O
O
battle
battle lay the hero's way,
day,
all
oh,
hail, Lone Star, all hail. The
the Lord
Lone
Star,
Star forever, the
the
Lone
Lord
Star
Star,
forever.
oh
Oh,
Lord,
long may it float over
over
land and
land and
sea.
over sea,
Descend,
descend,
no, never,
never,
uphold
upholding
forever.
forever.
Oh,
Oh, shout
shout for the
for the
Lone
Lone Star,
Star banner.
all
All
hail.
hail. Yeah, that's a
Okay, Prof.
pretty song. That's a pretty
Yeah, that's
song.
a good. So now let's come
Mhm.
to the I see you. I see Eugene Jai is watching. We have a bone to pick.
Uh,
Why you guys talking about the birth of Africa's sons and sires? Where's the woman? Huh? Where's
oh,
the
oh,
woman?
oh my God. But part of the science could be women too. So because they didn't mention woman, oh my God.
When we read, we said that when you and I were reading, we said that in Botswana it says, "Awake, awake, O men, awake, and women close beside them stand.
Uh-huh.
Together we will work." And we said, "What do you mean close beside them stand?" And then the national anthem for Mali, right? It says, "Stand up, women, stand up, young and old."
Uh-huh.
And then for Tanzania, it said, "God grant eternal freedom and unity to his sons and daughters," right? But I guess with Liberia, freedom is already personified as a woman.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But that doesn't mean that they should say, "Then forward, sons of freedom march." It should be
Oh
sons and
God.
daughters.
You know the thing about Usman Sumani, Sibeni Usman
Yes.
of Senegal.
Yes.
Uh, I think it was one of his last, as far as I know, one of his last interviews before his death. He said, you cannot quantify in African setting, you cannot quantify the what? The value of a woman. In other words, the value of a woman permeates everything. I know people who are womanists, people who are feminists, will want to hear the word and what have you. But whenever people went to a discussion board, the elders went to a place and they discussed the matter, and everything was deadlocked. They said, let's go and consult our pillars. Let's go. And there were often so many ways in which euphemisms were applied as far as the value of a woman, and woman herself was involved. So definitely, I know the new generation of people want to see shoulder to shoulder men and women being mentioned, men and women being talked about, what have you. But actually, I always believe, and I almost always like to quote Usman's statement that the value of a woman is unquantifiable.
Yeah. I mean, with the fact that in both of them, well, I think more so in the Lone Star Forever,
Mm,
freedom is personified as a woman,
yes,
and she's I mean, she's a pillar of strength
yeah,
throughout the
energetic.
three sexes.
The
Yeah,
energy is
energetic.
all over.
So I think that in the Lone Star Forever, I think I think I
Oh
think
my
men.
God.
No, I think men are kind of like subordinate in the Lone Star Forever, whereas in All Hail Liberia, I mean, in the
Yeah,
national anthem
yeah,
is different, right? The national
yeah.
anthem, okay, All Hail Liberia, here this glorious land of liberty shall long be our. Don't you her name,
Uh-huh.
great be her fame, and
Uh-huh.
mighty be her powers. So,
Uh-huh.
so where is that? Is there and mighty be her powers? No. Oh, actually, there's nothing there for men.
Well, I have to
I
surrender
mean,
now
it's
because
generic.
yes,
There's nothing
okay,
there for man or woman.
okay. You see,
And then you see, so Daniel B. Warner was enlightened. She was the 10th president and very enlightened at the time. But in the Lone
okay.
Star Forever,
Yes,
you can see that I mean that even if it's a figure of a woman, she's strong.
yeah.
She's seizing. She's
Mhm.
going back and
Yeah.
forth. She's doing things. She's
So
proclaiming.
she
Yes,
was ebullient, she was
yes.
bubbling with
What does it
energy,
say?
joy,
She
and
woke
everything.
with purpose through the land.
Yes,
Okay, bro. Yeah.
and
So let's go.
again, like I said, even they, of course, when the historical thing comes in, we see that who put the flag together? Women again. So women have had a part to play in the historical construct of the country, and we cannot take it from we cannot take it from you all. It's there. It's there. It's there.
And also, if you look at it, it seems as if, and I could be wrong, so this is just my belief, but in the past, women had a very pivotal role. And what I would also like to say is that the men, some of the men acknowledge that.
Yeah.
I keep saying that the first two novels that came out of Liberia were
Mm,
feminist
yeah.
novels,
Yeah. Okay.
and
All
they
right.
were feminist novels, you
Yes.
know. And now we come to the Lone Star Forever, right? He could have made freedom a man,
Yeah.
you know, but
Yeah.
but freedom is a woman, you
Uh-huh.
know. Yeah, and she's calling her sons, you know,
Yeah.
the so
Yeah.
the birth.
Yeah.
So in fact, if you look at it and you're trying to read it, you could say this freedom gave birth to
Yeah.
Africa's sons and sires.
Yeah.
You know, yes. So she
Yes.
gave
Yes.
birth
Yes.
because yeah, the birth of Africa's sons and sires, and
Mhm.
who gave birth to them?
Yeah.
Freedom.
Freedom.
Yeah. So the Lone Star Forever, but I think the Lone Star Forever is a much richer song. Or here Liberia, you know, it's like Kosi Sikelele, right? The South African song. It's
Mm-hmm.
God bless Africa.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think Zambia, I think Tanzania also they took they took the music, right? And then they put the music to their own thing, sing of
Yeah.
Zambia.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Kosi Sikelele is a song that can be, I mean, you can just change the words like
Mm-hmm.
they did.
Yeah.
But for
But
the Lone Star Forever, when we say that there's a time frame,
mhm.
it's almost like, yeah, you're right. You know, this green bee, her fame, is telling you that she's still green,
Yeah.
right? And then at the end, I like when he kind of draws on to the national anthem and say, "All hail." But
Liberia.
now it's no longer Liberia, but Lone Star is symbolic of Liberia and the flag.
Yeah.
You know, I know we talk about changing the flag, but this
Well,
song, no,
I'm not gonna
but
say anything about it.
this song is perfect. And if you look at the genealogy of these two songs, yeah, it's Daniel B. Warner, an immigrant, right? A free slave, son of a free slave. Now,
Yeah.
so if his father was released 1 year before leaving, right? So
Yeah.
his father was giving his freedom to
Yeah.
come to Liberia 1 year, right? So it shows you that when Daniel B. Warner was in Maryland in America, he wasn't that educated. He was educated primarily in Liberia,
Yeah.
right? But a son of a free slave, right? And then you have Edwin Barclay from Barbados, from the Caribbean,
There's people from
right?
the Caribbean.
Yeah, coming too. And then don't forget Daniel B. Warner was, they consider him one of the dark skinned.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was one of the dark skinned. But Daniel B. Warner was one of the dark skinned, but who? He had Olmsted Luca, who was a mixed race.
Yeah.
So you have, so Prof, when you say Liberia is a conglomerate of
Yeah.
people,
Mhm.
the songs, the national songs, they show it.
Yeah. It's a
You have
tapestry.
you have
Yeah.
a mixed race from the South, from South America, from South in the United States, the Southern states, from a musical family, mixed race. Olmsted Luca, who did the music
Yeah.
to the national anthem. Then you had Daniel B. Warner, the son of a slave,
Mhm.
a free slave, educated in Liberia, one of the
Yeah.
dark skin, because
Yeah.
they kept mentioning that he was dark skinned.
Yeah.
Then you have Edwin Barclay, who was, I think he was mixed race. I'm not sure.
Yeah. It
Yes,
was
yes,
kind of
yeah,
light skin, lighter
yeah.
skin.
So we have three different, you
Hmm.
know, people contributing to the to the
Yeah.
to the, to the songs of to the national songs.
Sure.
So I think that's very interesting, Prof. Yeah.
Very much so. That's why nobody should kind of ignore the importance of diversity. With diversity comes uh, a very serious case of creativity,
Yes.
and the creativity can do a whole lot to a kind of sell the nation, sell the country to a wider public because of the what is created and what people take interest in is very much important to think about diversity in a very positive light. We have
And
comments coming.
hmm?
Talking about comments. Okay, yeah. Okay, go ahead.
No. I was
Okay.
I was I was I was just thinking because like I mean maybe that can't be done because I was thinking about as we're talking about South African national anthem, right? and that
Mm,
they have it when they sing it in three languages: Afrikaans, English,
mm.
and I think Zulu. I'm not sure, right? They have
Yeah,
three, and they sing it,
yeah,
and they learn it.
yeah,
So even if you don't speak Afrikaans, you can follow it by
yeah,
singing the words,
yeah, yeah.
or you can be quiet and just sing sing the other portion. So
I,
so
I,
I think that
I know for sure that there is a, a crew version two, the our national anthem, and I think the Lone Star. At
so
one or
Puff,
two.
why don't you sing it? Sing it in crew for us.
No,
That would be a treat. Just a
no.
few words.
Maybe if we have it the next time, I will have to get the script to sing it with you. So that
Really?
we, yes.
You can't just sing it?
No, it's my no. Don't roll your eyes because it's a little rusty. My ear is a little rusty, and so I will want to pick up that before. I don't, you see. But as I was saying, they have a crew version two, the national anthem, and they have a crew version two, the Lone Star Forever. I It's possible that one or two other indigenous groups might have that, but I haven't heard that. I haven't heard that doesn't necessarily mean that they don't exist.
No, and I think that it will be good for the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of
Information.
Information
Yeah,
to play these songs in
yeah,
our traditional languages,
yeah,
our indigenous
yeah,
languages. I
yeah.
wouldn't say traditional, indigenous, because they're
Indigenous
indigenous
language.
to Liberia, and
Yeah,
put them in songs that
yeah,
people can sing. So,
yeah,
Prof, we come back now to Oh Hail Liberia Hill, right? This
yeah.
glorious land of liberty, 1847. Put us in context. Was it a glorious land of liberty?
Well, the Shehu Shagari of Nigeria was once asked. I think it was after the first year of being the civilian president, and uh, journalists went to him to ask him, "Hey, uh, what would you assess as the success that Nigeria has made today?" He said, "The very fact that we were able to go a year without any problem, that was significant achievement." So actually, to transplant whatever he said to the case of Liberia, Liberia, no doubt, has gone through a lot of uh, challenges and what have you. The idea first that the nation became independent, not 1847 or what have you. The idea that it fielded successive presidents up to 18, and then you get to 20, 21, or what have you. So existence alone, this is very much existence alone would have its own power. And I think this whole idea of glorious land of liberty, if you know very well, of course, that could be true in other places. You know very well that land is a very important thing. And even in economics, we talk about land as being, you have land, you have capital, you have labor. Land, the whole issue of land is very much important. And he who has land, those who have land have it all, and what have you. It's like saying, I have my own home. I am not renting. So when you put all those things together, you can say that indeed uh, the idea of glory uh, will be in the eyes of the beholder. And so I will make the point that really Liberia, for the very fact that the little piece of land, people try to take some away and what have you, but a little piece remain that we can call our own, and that we can feel a president, we can feel a speaker, we can feel a what Supreme Court justice and what have you. All those things are very much important. Of course, somebody will say something like, "Hey, even if you have those, what have we been able to get? What have we been able to get out of it?" Well, that doesn't mean anything. What means is that we can build on what we have. We can build on what we have, and that's very much important in the process.
I'm trying to put it in context. I'm not trying to start anything.
Well,
I'm looking at it, and looking at when Thomas Jefferson and the others in the United States. Lord knows I don't like to compare America with Liberia or Liberia with America. But let's say Thomas Jefferson, right? One of the authors of the Declaration of
Yeah.
Independence, all men are equal, right?
Yes.
And yet he was keeping slaves.
Hmm.
So my question to you is, when they say a nation loud triumphant song, the song of liberty, or when freedom raised her glowing form, freedom,
Yeah. Hmm.
liberty, right? And yet the indigenous people, they didn't have the right to vote.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So explain that to me.
No, the thing about it, look, it, when we are dealing with some of these things, my dear, we have to be practical. If we try as much as possible to be idealistic, we will say nothing good has come of Liberia, what have you.
Oh, I
And
won't say that.
no, no, no. And the thing about it also is that, let us face it, until this group came out of the United States of America, the indigenous wave of the population happen to have been in national, I call them cultural nations. Each
Yes,
was in a specific silo. And with the coming in of these other brothers and sisters from abroad, the idea of nation state, that captures diversity, that is supposed to be, talking about one out of many, to create the sense of one out of many, came into the picture. So the indigenous laid the foundation for a kind of the importance of cultural manifestation. And with these other people coming in, they kind of seal the whole personality of a nation. We had a nation state, and it is from the nation state we began to move on. So the short of the long is that each one of these waves played a very important part in getting us where we are as a nation state, a modern nation state for that matter, that we are kind of, well, call it enjoying, or at least we have a way of being able to understand what nation state is. Can someone might say, but even if they didn't come, well, that's a different, we cannot live in the world of what ifs and what have you. But what we have in the practical terms, we should be able to kind of see sense in it as we move forward.
yeah. No, I just wanted to put it in the context of the time it was happening.
Yes,
But you're right. When they talk about we shout the freedom of a race benighted,
yes,
that benighted race, it included the
yes,
indigenous people as well.
mhm,
So the race benighted, right? That nation long for long
yes,
included the
yes,
indigenous people as well. So the nation was Liberia. It was a Liberian nation,
yeah,
right? So the night, and I agree with you. The national anthem, I think, is a thumping of the nose.
yeah,
It is. It may be a rebuke, but
yeah.
it's also we here. We're not going anywhere.
Yeah, we are going. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes,
This
yes,
glorious land of liberty shall what?
yes.
Long be ours.
Yeah, so they talk about that, but in the Lone Star Forever, he goes further. He says you have to fight for
Yeah.
this land. He says you have to take up arms against foul aggression in the burnt.
Yes.
And the hero's ways is of battle lays the
Yes.
hero's way.
Yes.
So this thing that we have declared in the
Hmm.
national anthem,
Yes.
in the Lone Star Forever, they are saying freedom is not free.
Freedom is not free.
Freedom is not free. You're
Freedom
going
is.
to have to
You've
fight for
got
this,
to. You've got to keep alert.
Yes, you have to keep
Vital
like
vigilance.
vital
Yeah, you
vigilance.
have to keep vital vigilance.
There's nobler destiny. And
Yes.
you can't do,
Mhm.
when freedom is finished, you got to fight for it. Yeah.
Yes. No
Yeah.
complacency.
So
No complacency.
I just thought it was incredible that you have a 19-year-old writing this thing. I mean, Prof, listen to the words. And
What?
okay, and or Liberia, altar fires, she raised the Lone Star flag, unfold,
Yeah.
and proclaim. So, which means she didn't just raise it, she unfolded it
Proclaim.
and
Yeah.
proclaimed.
Yes.
Now, he said proclaim to an expectant world,
Yes.
right? So the world was waiting for
Uh-huh.
something, but she proclaimed the birth of
Yes.
Africa's sons
And see
and
it. Right.
sires. Yes.
Yes.
So I like it, and the birth of liberty. So this you know me, I always talk about changing names, but the birth of liberty and you can equate it to Liberia, liber, meaning free.
Yeah.
So that's why I say, Prof, that this should also be, this could be our national anthem if it had been written 54 years ago. The birth of liberty,
Okay.
Liberia.
Okay, Jerry. But
Yeah.
like I said, it should not be lost on any patriotic Liberian, on any well-meaning Liberian, that
Yes.
the Lone Star song is also a powerful song, and the very fact
Yes.
that uh, both the Lone Star song and the national anthem are almost abreast when it comes
Yes.
to popularity and other kind of a thing. That's very much true. Well, coming back to the age at which Barclay
Barclay.
produced the song, that is also a telling on the state of education in Liberia
Yes.
and a few other places today.
Yes.
Uh, in the past, there was a lot more commitment to the quality of education. The fact that war and a few other things got into the picture, and the progress of education has come to a slow, uh, should give us a pause. Should give us a pause. But of course, one should not ignore the fact that Uh, even if a good number of our young people are not making progress, every now and then you get a very startling surprise to see a Liberian child, boy or girl, who performs very well and is kind of magnetizing.
Yeah, but Prof, every time when one student does well,
Mhm.
even on Facebook, people extol the student and say,
Yeah.
but that should not be an exception. That should
Yeah.
be the norm.
Yes, I
You
agree
know,
with you. No, I
that
agree with
should
you.
be the norm. People
Uh-huh.
shouldn't be surprised if a
Yeah.
student
Mm.
does well.
Yes.
There should be, it should be
More
taken
of them.
as
More of
the
them. Yes.
par for course.
Yes,
You know,
more of
but
them.
coming back to Edwin Barclay,
Yeah.
I think the reason why also that the Lone Star Forever is so rich, like when you go, I mean, I see people forgetting it now, and I'm like, why are people forgetting?
Yeah.
If you are having functions, the national anthem starts the program, the Lone
And
Star
the
Forever
Luther.
closes the
Yeah.
program.
Yeah.
Why do people not know that anymore? National
Yeah.
anthem opens a
Mhm.
program, Lone Star closes the
Mhm.
program. I'll
Mhm.
say it again so those who don't know will know. National anthem opens the program, closes
Uh,
the program. When I
but-
was growing up, that's how we used to do it in
mhm,
Liberia.
mhm, mhm,
But I go to events and I see that they are forgotten.
mhm.
So just keep reminding that. But one thing about Barclay is that Barclay was a poet, so his love of words come through
Yeah.
in this thing. So because I found some of his poetry, and they're quite interesting. Like I said, Prof, he wrote a poem to Eloise. His wife name was Euphemia. His wife was
Well,
not Eloise.
maybe that was the wife's nickname or something like that. Let's go on.
Yeah. No. I'm just being funny. But I want to read one of the poems that he wrote about
Yeah.
Liberia, and this is at the age of 14, Prof.
Yeah.
At the age of 14. It's very small. So please, hold on one second. It says, it was composed by the author in 1897 at the age of 14. Liberia, taste of thee, sweet land of liberty, thy child doth sing. Land where our fathers died, land of the Negro's pride, back to thy mighty side, thy sons will bring. At times we hear thee say, O sons across the bay, will ye not come? Come, rally around the flag. O come, why doth delay? Come and uphold the flag with sword and gun. Shall excuse me, shall white man take away what God before did say should be our own? What God before did say should be our own? No, by our father's blood, though ours flow like a flood, this land, though it be mud, shall be our own. So come, let us all bow down and raise a strong, loud sign to our good God. He who has blessed us now, come, let us show our power and raise to him a tower on this free sod.
Hmm.
Interesting. At
Yeah,
the age of 14,
yeah.
that's when he wrote. Yeah.
And keep in mind, of course, this is not to uh, kind of take anything away from him, but in many instances, those who come off almost like prodigies, um, they they often are in their own corner. Uh, Barclay come off as a child who was in a lonesome corner, and when you have such situation, if you are in such a condition and you have books around, you tend to make books your partner, books your friend, and through making books your friend, so many things you can think about and eventually produce a life. So many people like him would understandably produce the kind of writing that he did produce.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you. I think he was a very deep thinker. I
Yeah,
think he
yeah,
thought about things,
mhm,
and whereas they not to take anything away from the national anthem,
yeah.
but like I said, so let's look at some comments and see if we can read some.
Okay,
Uh, Victor Brown D says, he says good evening.
yeah.
He says, I'm watching from Capital Bypass, Monrovia. Hey,
Wow.
Victor.
Yeah, hi, Richard.
Hi,
Hi.
Victor. Eugenia Wedgler Jazz says, good evening, Eugenia. And Christopher Togbasi said, why must they put enjoy in it? So, no, it was enjoy.
But we just said
Enjoy
it now. What are you talking
gladness.
about? In the
Enjoy
in the midst of in the midst that enjoy, in the midst of joy, in the midst of
of
gladness.
gladness.
That's what it is.
Enjoy.
Not in.
In Joy, joy.
Yes,
Enjoy and gladness, not
yes.
enjoy. Christopher.
That you're making it that way.
Are we Liberians a bunch of united race? No. I think what they were saying was that people were
They're being
treating.
cynical. They were being cynical,
Yeah,
sarcastic.
yeah, they
That's
were
what they
being
were doing.
cynical. Yeah.
One-
He says, I don't think we Liberians are a bunch. Of course, we are not a united race.
And they
That part
didn't
of the
even
song.
say that. That's not what they meant.
No, he said we will shout the freedom of a race be united, but be
Yeah,
united by who? By the people
yeah,
who thought that we would not amount to anything.
yes.
So I don't think he meant that.
No, he tried to be cynical.
Benefit Macy he said is enjoy, not enjoy.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we already expanded on the issue of the race be united because there were so many countries, so many people who thought that Liberia would not amount to anything.
The white
The
race
race,
thought that we were black and we didn't amount to anything. That's what it was.
yes,
And
yes,
they
yes.
tried to be a little cynical with them, sarcastic.
Oh, thank you, Benefit. Benefit is from Southbury, North
Okay.
Carolina. Eugenia said, "Desert it, no, never uphold it forever.
Yes.
The Lone Star banner, all hell." And he said, "Thank you guys so much for today's program." Oh, Benefit, thank you
Thank you
so
so
much for
much for.
listening. For
Yes.
listening. Crew Basa and Vi as well. Yeah, God helped them. Yes, God really helped them. That's why you see in both of the songs,
They have
they they
God
are, they
as
are
a center
exalting
point.
God. Yeah, Michael wanna say thanks for explaining the Lone Star Forever, the national anthem, so
Yeah.
eloquently. Yeah, it was just we wanted to see
Yeah.
the two different groups of people,
Yeah.
you know, I mean the two men actually, but now three because the music was by Umster Luca.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting here watching and listening keenly, and like a sponge, I'm absorbing everything. I love Liberian history. Every opportunity to learn new things about a beautiful country is organic for me. Thank you so much,
Thank
Jaja.
you, Georgia.
And the picture is nice too. You have a
Well,
little baby. Yes.
is that right?
Yeah. So people should sing the song, and like those of you who came late, we sang the song. Maybe when we're closing, we'll sing it again because it's such a uplifting song. Be united in a state of pitiful or
Yes.
contemptible.
Yes.
intellectual moral
Yes.
ignorance, typically owing to a lack of opportunity.
Yes.
Yes, that's what the
Overtaken
people
by
thought
darkness.
we
Yes.
were. They thought we were. So he's not saying that we are. He said,
That's
they
what you
thought
people
we
thought.
were.
Yeah.
Yes, but we are not. you know and Jerome Gamer says, why did you pick these particular songs? Well, we decided we wanted to talk about national songs.
Yeah.
The two national songs are the Lone Star Forever and the national anthem. Not, I mean, not to say that there are not other songs, but these are the national songs.
Yeah.
And so that's what we wanted to discuss.
And
For those of who were here last week, uh, Patrice Chua had problems with her electricity.
yeah.
I don't have to explain LEC to you.
Yeah.
And this week, she's traveling, but we will have Patrice. So we're asking you to please purchase her book, Under Duker Skies. I'm going to write it so you can go and purchase it, by Patrice Chua, and then come next week to ask questions about her book. Um, and William Barney said, I'm watching you, Liberia, Grand Bassa County, Buchanan.
Amen. Hi,
Welcome,
William.
William. Yeah. So as we said, we're on this journey, and we are getting to know more about the literature, the history, things that intersect. And we also would like, maybe once a month, one of the shows, to do a book club, so we can begin reading, Liberian books and discussing it. Maybe one or two of you, maybe William Bunny might want to come on the show. Maybe Mason, maybe Benefit would want to come on the show. Maybe Mr. Gaiman wants to come to talk.
Maybe
We
Dr.
want
Warner
to
wants
have
to come.
no. We want to have like a book in common that
Yes.
we read and we discuss it, and then you can debate us. Oh, this book, this is not what it's saying, and we can discuss that. So Patrice hopefully will be on next week. Then Prof and I will get a list of maybe 3 or 4 books, and then you can decide. We can put it up and you can vote. I think it'll be nice if you vote and we choose the book, and then we discuss the book, and we come. People are doing it all over. I said that on CNN. What they're doing is that the Nigerians in Nigeria are reading this book. I've forgotten the book. I think it was This Thing Around My Neck by Chimamanda. And the Nigerians in Belgium, and some Belgians, they're also reading the book, and they are discussing. And you can see that your location kind of, and your lived experience makes you see the book differently. Whereas the Nigerians, they will say, no, the Nigerians in Nigeria, the Nigerians in Belgium or in England, they are saying, no, 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 she meant this. It will create a richness. So please, if you would like to do that, stay tuned for the books. Henry Lass said, we are stringers together, both those who remain and those who return. There is a need for us to understand ourselves better and unite. Great program. Thank you, Henry. And we say that all the time. To those of you who this is your first time on this show, we've always said that the commonality that binds us is migration, right? It's migration. We all came from somewhere. Whether you walked from the empires when it disintegrated, whether you were like the seaside and you took the canoe or the boat, whether you came from Barbados or the other parts of the Caribbean, whether you were dumped on the shores as recaptured Africans, whether you came as free people who were once enslaved, we are all in this piece of earth called Liberia, the land of the free, glorious liberty, as these two songs have put into words. It's like the anthem is almost a national prayer to arms. It's a national call to arms. We are united on this earth, on this piece of land, right, Prof? And so we should lift Liberia up. Nobody wants you to, every time you're saying, oh, my house is dirty, my house is dirty. Yes, if the house is dirty, take a broom and clean. But please uplift Liberia. Jerome, we have to give credit to our founding fathers and mothers who had no benefits of their colonial past. Colonial past had no benefits. Those people who, I mean, I think is people say it's like Tubman. They say Tubman says and said, "Oh, we did not have the benefits of colonization. Colonization had no benefits. Maybe there was a structure that was put in place because they lived there and they wanted that. But those people did not come to colonize you to say, "Oh, we're going to teach the Africans how to to govern their country well." They came for resources and people. So there's no benefit, you know, if there's something that you say, oh, they have this structure, it's a byproduct that came. It's not, they were not there to teach you anything, they were there to colonize, you know. So this thing about benefits of colonization, no, no. You know, the processes of what you guys term civilization, which is an outdated word because that no civilization, the processes of a culture moving towards a more advanced way of doing things was there. Colonization disrupted that process. But don't say benefit. You know, there's no benefit of rape. There's no benefit. I'm sorry, Prof. Okay, so Prof, last words, last comments.
Someone asked a question earlier, which was a beautiful question with respect to why those two songs. Uh, we are challenged all the time, especially on this program. Historical notes and literary notes are brought on this program as a way of stirring imagination, as a way of stirring creativity, as a way of telling you to think deeply about your own self and then about your country. Losing sight of the importance of that reflection makes you just a nominal person. We don't want you to be a nominal person. We want you to participate, delve into your Africanness, delve into your Liberianness. That is what we are calling you to do. So once in a while, something pops up, like in this case, the need to look at two important national songs deeply. The need popped up, and we wanted to deal with it. And we thought we talk about a few things, which if you didn't understand about the national songs, you can hopefully you've gotten some understanding, and you can run with that until another time comes. So it is much of a thanking you all, even if there are two or three that come to our show, thanking you all to always be part of the audience. Not only that, but also to a kind of provide some questions or provide some statements that kind of stimulate more conversation here. So we want to thank you for that, and we want to also thank Jackie for what she does in getting the program together.
Yeah, and I see also that some people come like 30 minutes late, so we might think about maybe somebody suggested to me before that we might push it to like 6:30 or 7 because people are just coming home. But again, we will discuss that. We want to say thank you. You know, we know you are busy and we ourselves we are busy. But we come here every Friday, I guess, to discuss the national consciousness. We come here to discuss the core of our country. We come here to say maybe in the hustle and bustle of life, in the hustle of raising kids, in the hustle of working, we we haven't forgotten, but we have kind of like put aside, you know, the things that are central to our being, right? The thing that they call the underneath of you, you know, because you are more than your work and raising kids, you know. So we always say, if you say, I'm a Liberian, what does it mean? And we always ask that question. What does it mean to be a Liberian? You know? And Prof, I always say that sometimes you may have a bad day, but you may have a good life,
Yeah.
you know? So sometimes Liberia might disappoint you, but other day it lifts you up, you know. So this balancing act that you do, how would you describe it when you're describing Liberia? That's all we're doing, you know. And we always say that, you know, this is not only Liberia that's having this conversation. We talk about Ghana, you know, that this huge project going on. What does it mean to be a Ghanaian? What does it mean to be a Liberian? You know, we say, oh, LIB, but what does LIB mean to you? You know, that is the thing, you know, because this guides you. You know, it guides you. It's your North Star, right, Prof? That's what it's called, a
Yeah.
North Star. It's your guiding
Yeah.
compass. You know, it's like when my daughter used to say, "Mommy, they don't do this in America." I said, "I'm not from America." You know, I'm not from America. Don't give me a hard time. You know, so that is what we are doing every Friday. We ask you to interact with us, participate. You know, if you don't agree with us, let us know why you don't agree.
Mhm.
If there is a book you found and you want us to discuss this book, let us know. But we will be here, as Prof says. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes I tell Prof, I'm tired, Prof, and he says we are coming on.
Yeah.
And then when I come on, I'm like, oh, I learned so much.
Yeah.
I learned so much from your comments. I learned so much from you writing me. Somebody came to my house during one graduation, and the guy said, "I know you." And I said, "From where?" He said, "Focus on Liberia." I was yeah, but we are one people. We are one people, you know? And like we always say, we may have different rooms in the house, but the
Yeah.
roof is Liberia.
Yeah.
So we will keep that roof intact. We will strengthen the roof. We may fight
Yes.
from room to room, but
Mhm.
we will keep the roof intact. And
Yes.
that's why we are here. Prof and I, we are here to discuss Liberia, all things Liberia,
Yeah.
and to learn from you, and you can discuss with us as well.
Yeah.
We thank you again for today. We thank you for coming, and we will always say, mask up.
Mhm.
Tell your people back home, your loved ones, to take the vaccine, to wear a mask, stay safe, and always remember, whether you like the Lone Star Forever, like me, or you like the national anthem, or
Yes.
you don't like either one of those, we are all Liberians. And we
Yeah.
say thank you very much and good night. God bless.
We are Liberian.
Okay.
We are Liberian. We are Liberian. Liberia is our home. Liberian people. Liberia, you may say everyone. Liberia, you may say everyone. Liberia,